3 years have passed since the heart of Te Fiti was restored. The island of Motunui is thriving like never before, its shores bustling with life, its people filled with a renewed sense of purpose. Moana, now the respected and beloved chief, guides her community with the wisdom of her ancestors and the courage of her own heart. The voyaging canoes, once stored away, now line the beaches, their sails eager for the wind. Under her leadership, the people of Motunui have become master wayfinders once again, exploring the vast ocean and forging connections with neighboring islands. Yet, amidst the prosperity, a quiet disquiet begins to stir within Moana. She stands on the highest peak of her island, gazing out at the endless blue horizon. The ocean, her oldest friend, seems to whisper to her, not with the playful invitations of her youth, but with a somber, urgent tone. The familiar patterns of the currents feel different. The stars in the night sky seem to shift in ways the ancient chants did not describe. She feels a pull, a deep, resonant call from a place far beyond the charted waters. One evening, during a village celebration, the ocean's call becomes undeniable. The calm lagoon suddenly grows turbulent. A massive spectral wave, unlike any she has ever seen, rises from the sea. It doesn't crash upon the shore, but holds its form, shimmering with an ethereal light. Within the watery curtain, visions flicker. Images of islands shrouded in a strange, creeping shadow, their vibrant green turning to a dull, lifeless grey. She sees people, their faces etched with fear, their lands withering. And then a symbol burns brightly in the heart of the Vishnu spiral, but not the familiar one of Te Fiti. This one is fractured, broken. The village elders, their faces pale, recognize the signs. They speak of an ancient legend, a story whispered only in the most dire of times, the legend of the shadow of the sea. It tells of a primordial imbalance, a force that existed long before Te Fiti, a power that consumes light and life. This shadow is not evil in itself, but a natural counterforce that has been awakened. The elders believe that the restoration of Te Fiti, a massive release of life-giving energy, has inadvertently stirred its opposite from a long slumber. The broken spiral is its mark. Moana knows what she must do. This is not a task for her people. It is a burden she must bear as the ocean's chosen one. Leaving her trusted friend and cousin Kele to lead in her absence, she prepares her canoe. As she pushes off from the shore under the light of a nervous moon, she isn't alone for long. A familiar, booming voice calls out from the darkness. It's Maui, demigod of the wind and sea, his magical fishhook slung over his shoulder. Couldn't he just let her sail off to face the grumpy twin of a life goddess by herself? Could he? He jokes, but his eyes hold a seriousness she's rarely seen. He too has felt the disturbance in the world's balance. And so their new voyage begins. But the journey is far from what they remember. The ocean is unpredictable. Rogue waves and sudden whirlpools. test their skills at every turn. They encounter marine life, behaving erratically, whales singing mournful songs, and sea turtles swimming in frantic, disoriented circles. The shadow's influence is spreading, poisoning the very spirit of the ocean. Their first clue comes from a cluster of volcanic islands, home to a reclusive tribe of fire dancers. These islanders have always lived in harmony with the volcanic spirit, but now the mountains are silent, the lava flows cold. The tribe's leader, a wise old woman named Hina, shows them ancient carvings hidden deep within a dormant volcano. The carvings depict two spirals, one of life and one of shadow, locked in an eternal dance. The prophecy states that when one grows too strong, the other will rise to restore equilibrium. But the carvings also show a third element, a fulcrum point, the scepter of tides. A mythical artifact said to be forged from a fallen star and cooled in the ocean's deepest trench. It is the only thing that can mediate between the two forces. Hina tells them the scepter was broken into 3 pieces long ago and scattered across the sea to prevent such power from falling into the wrong hands. The first piece, she believes, is hidden in the whispering coral labyrinth, a massive, ever-shifting reef that confuses and traps even the most skilled navigators. The second piece lies in the Sky Mirror Atoll, an island so reflective that the sky and sea become one, a place where illusions reign. The final piece is guarded by the great ocean guardian, a creature of immense power in the silent depths of the midnight trench. With renewed purpose, Moana and Maui set sail for the whispering coral labyrinth. The reef is a kaleidoscope of color and danger. The coral sings with 1,000 voices, trying to lure them off course with promises of home and safety. Moana, however, has learned to listen not just with her ears, but with her heart. She closes her eyes, focusing on the ocean's true song, the deep, rhythmic pulse beneath the cacophony. She guides the canoe through passages that seem to close moments after they pass. Maui uses his strength and his hook to clear paths and fend off aggressive, shadow-touched sea creatures. Deep within the labyrinth's heart, they find the first piece of the scepter, a glowing pearl-like shard, resting on a coral throne. Their next stop is the Sky Mirror Atoll. As they approach, the world turns into a disorienting blend of clouds and water. The island reflects their deepest fears and regrets. Moana sees visions of Motunui in ruins, her people blaming her for leaving. Maui is haunted by his past failures, the mistakes that led to his exile. The illusions are powerful, designed to break their spirits, but they have grown. Moana anchors herself in her duty and her love for her people, her confidence unwavering. Maui, seeing Moana's strength, confronts his own insecurities, realizing his worth is not defined by his past, but by the hero he chooses to be now. Together, they shatter the illusions and find the second piece, a handle of polished obsidian, which seems to absorb the very light around it. Finally, they face the greatest challenge, the midnight trench. The pressure is immense, the darkness absolute. Maui transforms into a giant whale to carry Moana down into the crushing depths, down there in a world of bioluminescent wonders and terrifying leviathans. They find the lair of the Guardian, a colossal ancient octopus named Kananu. Its eyes hold the wisdom of millennia. Kananu does not fight them. It speaks to Moana not with words, but through a direct connection to her mind. It reveals the truth. The shadow is not a monster to be defeated, but a part of the world that needs to be understood. Life cannot exist without its absence, just as light cannot exist without darkness. The imbalance was caused by a sudden surge of life, and now the shadow is simply and violently trying to reclaim its space. Kananu explains that the scepter is not a weapon, but a conduit. It is meant to be wielded not to destroy the shadow, but to negotiate with it, to guide it, and to restore harmony. The Guardian willingly offers them the final piece. A blade forged from a metal that seems to be made of solidified starlight. As Moana joins the three pieces, the scepter of tides flares to life. It hums with immense power, a perfect harmony of light and dark. At that moment, the shadow fully manifests. A colossal, formless entity of pure darkness rises from the sea, blotting out the stars. It is not angry or malevolent, just vast, empty, and hungry. Maui prepares for the fight of his life, but Moana holds up a hand. She remembers Kananu's words. This is not a battle to be won with force. She holds the scepter high, and instead of attacking, she does what she does best. She connects. She sings. She sings a new song, not just of life and creation, but of balance. A song of the silent moon, as well as the bright sun, of the empty tide, as well as the fall. Her voice, amplified by the scepter, resonates across the water. A bridge of understanding between the two opposing forces. The shadow stops its advance. It seems to listen. Moana walks to the edge of her canoe, the water's surface turning dark and glassy beneath her feet. She reaches out, not with the scepter, but with her hand, offering it to the darkness. The shadow hesitates, then extends a tendril of pure void, touching her palm. There is no pain, only a profound sense of understanding. It is a moment of cosmic negotiation. Light and dark, life and nothingness. Finding their equilibrium through the heart of a mortal girl who dared to understand them both. The shadow slowly recedes, not vanishing, but integrating back into the world. Its presence now a gentle counterpoint rather than a destructive force. The corrupted islands begin to heal, the ocean calms, and the stars shine brighter than ever. Moana and Maui return not just as heroes, but as keepers of a new balance. Moana, chief of Motunui, is now also a guardian of the world's delicate harmony. Her journey taught her that true strength isn't about defeating darkness, but having the courage to face it and the wisdom to understand its place in the great, beautiful dance of existence. Standing on her canoe, the scepter of tides now a part of her legacy, she looks to the horizon, ready for whatever new tides may come. Her voyage never truly ends. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow 4 more stories from the sea.